Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome back to a little bit more Ixion, sponsored by Bulwark Studios and Casito Games. We're kind enough to reach out and ask for 2 videos, which is good. I'm glad to oblige. I don't normally get to come back to games. And Ixion is one of my absolute favorite games out of this year. It is one part kind of narrative space exploration game, and one part colony builder, where you're on this kind of giant arc ship station, trying to get through a series of disasters that threaten all of mankind, which I think is really cool. I rolled us back to the very beginning, or not the very beginning, the very end of the last episode, right before I ended the chapter, because I like that cutscene, I want to see it again. So while we get this set up, Ixion is out today on Steam. I do not actually know the price tag for it. It's made by the people that made Warhammer 40k Mechanicus, which I actually didn't know prior to my previous coverage of it, which I think is absolutely incredible. I'm hoping we're charging this up. I was hoping to grab the food off the Urshanabi, but it won't let me. But Mechanicus is by and far one of my favorite, actually one of my favorite games of all time. Oh, we're paused. That's why nothing's happening. That's why I couldn't get resources off the Urshanabi. I'm a goofball. Whatever. I got plenty of food generation, so I don't need to worry about it too much. It's just food. If it was something else, I'd care more. But it's also, the soundtrack is composed by the Mechanicus composer. It doesn't quite have that same haunting tone, but boy is it good all the same. You know what? We can speed this up. Why am I going slow? I have no idea. There we go. I just want to see this cutscene again. It's a good cutscene. It's beautiful. And some of the implications are fun. And if you haven't caught my previous coverage of this, since this is going up on Steam, well, you only have missed the prologues. You won't miss much, and I've got all of that up on my YouTube channel, if you want to go check it out. This is a visual feast. The idea of space travel, especially, you know, faster than light travel, has always been kind of interesting to see various, you know, artists' renderings of it. Because here you're kind of going through this, like, weird stringed void? I don't even know how to describe this. Like, whoever came, I think, is actually really genius for doing so. I have no idea what it's supposed to exactly signify. But I think it looks sick. I also liked going plaid in Spaceballs. I thought that was a really funny depiction as well.
Our home. She is unique. Held in its bosom are the ingredients of evolution. Beyond raw survival, beyond the safety of comfort, we, humanity, pursue something greater. We have learnt, persevered, shaped our knowledge from that which is found in the furthest realms of science. However, humanity has brought destruction to the earth, polluted its blood, choked its breath. Today we are paying the price for this. We know the taste of a dying world. But the earth is not to be our grave. Instead, courage in her children to carry on. Dolos carries this courage. We have gone further than any nation, moved faster than any corporation, hand in hand with those who, like us, carry that courage. The Tycoon Station is both an epilogue of these endeavors and a prologue to humanity's next steps. Our Council of Scientists leads the vanguard. They know, as do we all, that the survival of humanity now depends on what we glimpse out there in the dark. That we are masters of our own destiny. That we must go as a species bound together, pushing further into the unknown. We set sail on this new sea because there is hope to be found, horizons to explore, and because our very existence depends on it. I give you the stars. I give you the full engine.
I don't know why, but this specific scene just gives me chills. I think it's because I'm a huge Sonic Adventure 2 fan, But can you imagine being on Earth for that? Can you imagine just how absolutely just horrifying it would be to see a hole chunked out of the moon? Huh. Is that still the moon? That's a question. I haven't played further than this. This is all new for me.
Several anomalies detected. Multiple digital security breaches found within Vol jump routines. Full engine critically damaged. Hull integrity compromised. Analysis confirms discrepancies between the mission clock and the apparent advanced state of the solar system. We are receiving no communication signals from Earth. Likelihood of ongoing survival stands at approximately 7.67%. Activating Marduk survival protocols. New mission objective established. Ensure humanity's survival by finding a habitable exoplanet. Increase food production output. Restore hull integrity.
Alright, so hull integrity is bad.
A new request awaits your attention.
Hull repair is disabled. How do we repair hull? Okay, it's now activated. Close that transmission. Let's see, so EV okay, 2 to give me 29 behavioral algorithms predict a decrease in productivity of 22%. If those questions go unanswered, as administrator of that Tycoon station, you should find some answers quickly. Sending an expedition to Earth. Okay, so we have to figure that out. You may have noticed that the moon is broken apart. The crew are aware of this, and many rumors are spreading throughout the station. You have to make an official statement. Okay. Something must have happened during the test jump. Oh, it was only a test jump, so we weren't actually going far. Hence why the moon blew up and we haven't moved. I thought we were actually leaving. So something must have happened during the test jump. Being such a high-profile event, it was the perfect opportunity for them to strike and sabotage our plans, or it's our fault. Despite our robust safety measures, a system failure at the exact moment of the jump caused the engine to drag a part of the moon with it into self-similar space. This failure has cost humanity dearly. Our mission is now to rebuild, or humanity's fate. A great deal of time has passed in the solar system. The moon's destruction is obviously a consequence of humanity's selfish and warlike instincts. I'm gonna go with it's our fault. It could have been Dolos' many enemies, but it's still our fault.
The crew's trust in your leadership is falling.
Okay. I think we'll be fine trust-wise. People are still somewhat happy, and currently we're gaining. I'm very glad I took some time to actually prep for this, because as we currently are, I'm at least somewhat prepared. So, game over. When everything goes wrong and all hope is lost, your journey ends. Do not fret, you'll have the option to restart your game. You can do so either from the last save game or beginning of the chapter. The crew of the Tycoon will lose faith in you and mutiny, or you can just get destroyed. That's interesting. And yeah, we have all sorts of tutorials that I haven't looked at. I'll be fine. Okay, so first and foremost, hull integrity is going back. I guess what we should do is take the Ripley and head to Earth. Oh, maybe this wasn't our fault. Notice, we have the Earth and we have the Sun. There are no other planets here. No summary of Earth data. No signals have been received from Earth. The ocean seemed to Tycoon was last in orbit. Atmospheric readings indicate the presence of strong dust storms and dangerously high levels of carbon dioxide, radiation, and microplastics. The blue planet will never again deserve its name. So, find your family home. Search survivors. I'm gonna scour the globe first. I feel like that's the easiest and best. We've got functionally unlimited time. There's no upkeep, and the only things I can do really are look for food. Next up, probes. I've got one available and resource estimate none. Okay, I gotta take a look at this. Readings. Scanning regions of the planetary system. Okay, higher readings, finding something. My big fear is that I send this out and we get nothing. So, I might not scan. It says find an asteroid with, it'll probably tutorialize asteroids, is my assumption. And then maybe we can scan for something. I could get another science ship, but I think I'm just going to use the Ripley for the time being, rather than trying to push anything else. So the other thing we want to do, because the integrity is going up, trust is going up, so you don't have to worry about either of those in the moment. We do have some science, not much, but we might as well start researching something. Memorials is not the worst idea. Extra stability or an alternative life center. Extra stability in a sector. That might not be a bad idea. It's either that or batteries, but I think I'm going to start working on the alternative life center for the time being.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Okay, let's go back out here and take a look. What's up with Earth? So, after a long search, we found nothing but rubble. We've seen no signs of life, not even a corpse. The lunaclysm seems to have caused a series of events that precipitated the collapse of the thermo-industrial civilization. The Earth has become a toxic and arid wasteland scoured by harsh winds, now more inhospitable than Mars. The only remnant of civilization we found was a fallen stele, where the city of Washington once stood. Stuck in a crevasse, it had been sheltered from the wind. A prayer imploring divine forgiveness was engraved in gold on its surface. So we get a lot of Dolos headquarters. We're just going to try and get as much information as we possibly can while we start retrieving some of those resources, I think. Or does the science ship have to retrieve these? Oh, no. There it is. Yeah, our cargo ship will grab stuff. The converted oil rig, which Dolos used as the state-of-the-art headquarters, is gone. Only a few metal scraps remain, scattered across an expanse of dusty, cracked earth. There's no sign of survivors. And family home. Might as well, and then we'll take a look at the Urshanabi. The thing is, though, like, what happened to the other planets? Where is Mars? Jupiter? Everything? They can't have just, like, pieced out and gone elsewhere. I don't think. I can't imagine. But at least this'll fund much of our research, at least for the first couple of techs. Hopefully we can actually get to some upgrades to our pre-existing tech. New stuff is nice, but I like making my things more efficient. Okay. A huge crevasse cuts through the ground where your home once stood. There's no trace of civilization. Cripes. And even more resources.
A new request awaits your attention.
We're just gonna collect. Is that actually like 114 science? Dang. That's a lot of stuff. We might actually need to go back into this thing. Okay. Let's go back in here. We have some events that I should take a look at. To safeguard humanity, we must find survivors and increase the station's population. We do not have to go through the classic reproductive time to go through the classic. A practice pioneered by Dolos was in growing use even before we left the solar system. There's a high likelihood that chronic pods containing survivors await discovery. Okay. And then we also have this one. So stability penalty -1 permanent. So mission reports from the expedition to Earth are being discussed among the crew. The thought of having lost all loved ones left behind has destroyed morale for many of them. The symptoms of this trauma have now been collated under a medical designation dead Earth sickness. So I'm going to have to work on that. We also are desperately going to need some more storage. Let's see. I'm just going to get a pair. This one's going to be metal. This one's going to be polymer. We're probably going to need both. Okay, and we now have the tech for the alternative life center? Center. I'm going to have to figure out what to put in this area. Because it's just a little too big. I mean, I guess I could put this here. Because this is, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to jam everything together as efficiently as possible. I'll just put it there for the time being. Looks like we got the chips for it. Oh. No, we might actually need one more of these. I'll start putting them here. Because we have to store this stuff. So what other research do we have? Because we're probably also going to want memorials and cryonic center. Let's start with the cryonic center, because no matter what, we're going to need that. Okay, what does stability loss lead to? I don't see anything off the top of my... Or I don't see anything here that specifically identifies stability as a resource or thing that I can track. Okay, so let's go back to... Sorry. Let's go back to the planetary thing. And let's go check out the Ursunabi. Because I don't think the Ripley's doing anything. Okay, Sector 1. Yeah, can I actually start clearing these out? Oh, I can. So Sector restricted. Under test protocols, to force entry, electronics and polymer must be sent to manually override the gateway's lock algorithms. Basic functioning of the sector necessities the transfer of food, alloy, and workers. So we're going to leave that until this one fills out. Also, in retrospect, I did not exactly give myself an easy way to get over here, so I'm probably going to have to knock down one of these apartment blocks. Okay, so what did we learn? Population. Cryonic center. It's not huge, so I could actually put it here. I don't think we need to worry too much about travel time. Things move pretty quickly. Alright, let's go back out here. Ursunabi's scan report. A census have detected the Ursunabi. The ship is broken into two and is not transmitting any signals. The phrase, "Whoever helps Dolos is an enemy of humanity," has been daubed in large letters on the wreck of the Ursunabi. Damn. Mummified bodies have been attached to its hull. Damn. Gather the remaining resources. I was kind of hoping we'd be able to find, like, a computer with a solid, record of, like, what happened exactly. Like, I absolutely love the trope of...
The ship team has completed a task.
Everything went bad. Oh, there's a lot of food. The ship was full of food. I hope the expiration date hasn't passed. Everything's ready for extraction. Luckily, we have plenty of food to begin with. Okay, I don't see anything else here. We might actually have to just, like, peace out, but it'll probably give me another transmission once I'm done. I have plenty of food. We are going to need more of this. But here's a question. Where are my workshops stockpile small? Oh, come on. Technology tier 2 is required. Integrated storage bays upgrade is required for this one. So, tech tier 2 is required to unlock this. Is this not tech tier 2? Because I want this one. Integrated storage bays. Store more resources. 20% more resources. 300 of a single. Yeah, like I want these, but I don't know what tech tier 2 is. Until I actually get that, we're in trouble. So we have alloy. So that's iron into alloy. This is carbon into polymer. Silicon into electronics. And then we have batteries. Well, I guess I might as well start researching memorials. Because we currently don't have any iron. We have to mine for that. And while we have alloy, we can't turn that into anything else. So iron and carbon are our base resources. Same thing with silicon, and they just upgrade into whatever their resource is. We do also have waste. And ice might be something we need to worry about. Hopefully not at the moment. Currently, we don't seem to have water issues. So... how the heck do we find the cryon? I'm just gonna take the Ursunabi and just... or not the Ursunabi. Oh, it needs a location. I don't think we can... can we go to the sun? If it blows up on me, I'm going to be sad. Can I save just in case? Perfect. Am I going to have to vol jump out of here? I might actually have to scan, use the probe. Well, the Ripley is fine. So I guess we're just going to bring it back to the moon. I guess barring anything else, time to use a probe. What else are we going to do? Oh, this is how it works. So we need to find one of these high in iron. Now let's see if I can get lucky and get a lot of multiple. We're finding a lot of ice. Yeah. Because I can kind of get a bunch of either. I'm going to go there. So that's how probes work. That actually makes a lot of sense. Now I'm regretting not grabbing... Well, I guess really we need silicon more than anything else. I don't know how much we can do either of those. Well, one way or another... Where am I? I'm back here. You're rotated wrong. So I need to make a mining ship. Otherwise I'm not going to be able to do anything. Let's see. Can I pause for a hot second? Food-wise we're doing fine. Water is required for food production buildings, but we don't have to worry about it too much. Let's see. Did I actually lose somebody population-wise? That's a concern. Toggle resources HUD. Oh, that's actually really nice. It's probably they've disappeared to go fly a ship, and they don't count for the station. So here's the question. How do we go about this next part? Because I don't know where to find these. I think we need to do the mining ship before we can start finding the cryonic pods, because I have no clues about where I'm going to find them. Unless, of course, they're hiding on the other side of one of these. Which they could be. And then there's also the train station, but we need to find that tech, and I'm pretty sure it is not this tier. What about stability? Oh. So we have a couple of different memorials that we could do. It seems like each of them is kind of the same, just a different visual. And they do cost silicon, which is... Or silicon... They cost chips, electronics. Which is a little tough. So I think I'm going to leave it for the time being, and just rely on the alternative life sector. I mean, our happiness is perfectly fine, so... Hopefully we don't have to worry too much there. And I've only got 5 of these. Just in case we need something a little bit more, useful. So silicon into electronics every couple of cycles. Probably worthwhile. Okay. Other thing we should do, back to maintenance. Can I fit 2 of these next to each other? No. They're a 4x4 structure. So I guess I'm just going to get 2 more of these here.
A new request awaits your attention.
There's our request. Okay, so we want iron and carbon, because we're going to need both. So what is this? Sector 1's almost reached its maximum structural load. With the infrastructure surely needed soon, a new sector will be need to be unlocked. Sectors were programmed to automatically unlock after completion of the objective, or of the mission to Proxima Centauri. With the change of the Tycoon's mission objective, we can do that. I'll probably pop this one open. In fact, we might as well get started on that. Because we've got the resources for it and then some. And that'll clear us out. And who knows, we might find something interesting over there. Connect the gateway of Sector 1 with a road. Okay, I'm just gonna run that down the entire thing. Okay. Mine X amount and research a steel mill. So I probably should have saved some of the science. We do generate 1 science per cycle, but that's not great. It's not terrible, but it's not great. Okay, anything else to do at the moment? Because I might want to extend this road over just to give me some speed. I don't think I need to do too much. The fleet management. I'm just going to set everything to medium, and it looks like we're going to need to store some more ice. Or some ice. Okay. We just have to pop this open. Well, looks like we've got the people, we just need the resources. Oh, we weren't getting any of it because of course we needed the road to actually connect it. I'm a goofus. That's why we were locked at the 30%. Okay, so it's not a particularly big update. to what I'm doing, but we're gonna, in cutting ahead, I realized I might be able to send probes out to find research materials here. Looks like we're having random injuries. Ooh, I probably don't have a Sector 2 thing, but we've detected a signal broadcasting on a Dolos frequency. It originates from a mineral extraction station called the Stanford facility. I have random science places here. We need to go looking. Okay, so they call it a mine. Asteroid belt scan report. We've detected a signal broadcasting on a Dolos frequency. So we theorize that the Stanford facility will contain many materials useful to the Tycoon and its crew. However, in order to recover them, we'll need to dismantle elements of the structure to gain entrance. The control center has been identified, but it's sealed off by a shutter, with a UN emblem stenciled over it. A message has been written beneath the emblem in an unknown language. We have no idea what it says, but it's accompanied by a helical-shaped symbol. So, dismantle part of the facility or force enter to the control center. You know what? I'm just gonna save. I'm a scum. I am scum. I'm a save scummer. I want to find out what's inside that control center. If it's sealed off, I kind of want to know why, especially because, like, who's gonna judge me? And probes out because they're actually pretty cheap. They just require like 2 or 3 polymer to make. And now that I know I can get functionally limitless amounts of polymer just by mining for it, well, I might as well go kind of bananas here.
No more resources available to mine.
You know how I was,
The science ship team has completed a task.
You know how I was wondering what happened to the other planets? We just had to send a probe for them to find them, which is actually really funny. We should find Mars, though, because each planet should be along these orbital rings. So I just gotta go looking for it. Enemy of mankind. Bodies of the former Dolos employees were found within the control center. After examining their identification tags, Idris Zahab is certain they have found a possible relative. They request the bodies be brought back to the Tycoon, and that the center's personnel manifest be analyzed to find out if there are any links between the deceased and the Tycoon crew. Preliminary psychoanalytical profiling suggests Idris Zahab is exhibiting behavior characteristic of Dead Earth sickness. Honor the dead? We should already have this stuff, so we might as well. I mean, what else are we gonna do? Why is my hull integrity worse? Oh. Not enough alloy for... Oh. Hold up. Alright, let's turn this one back on and off. I've got functionally endless amounts of alloy, so I should probably be using it. I just only have so many people... Yeah. 133 workers required, 132 available. I am kind of stuck here until we get some more people. Oh. That's bad. A dispute arose between members of the Ripley's crew over the decision to extract the bodies and publish the manifest. There was a violent altercation resulting in the loss of personnel and destruction of the control room. Only Idris Zahab remains alive. You know how I said I'm a save scum? I am scum. Let's just not ever go in there. Because why? You know, there was no benefit to it. So we'll just go into the rest of the facility and just pretend that area doesn't exist. Okay, so let's take a look at what's in the other side. Hey, this is kind of what we need. Matching the character of Marduk Council member Philip Stanford meticulously organized... matching the character of Marduk Council member Philip Stanford meticulously organized resource packets were found in the facility's storage area. They've been prepared for extraction. Including a bunch of people. So that's useful. I've also found Mars. I sent a ship over here. Old disused complex named Richter's facility has been located on the surface of Mars. So let's send this out here. I think? Or, wait. Hold up. I think we gotta get the science off of this first. After event completion. What event completion? Oh. And apparently this has at least UN-owned facilities covered almost entirely by Martian sand. Existing Dolos clearance codes can be used to interact with the complex's systems. Caution is advised as the weight of the sand may exceed the structure's load-bearing capacity. Well, I don't have much of a choice. And I should also have another probe. We're looking for... Wait, no, that's the Earth orbit. Like I said, probes are kind of cheap, so I'm just going to send them out to try and find...
An accident has occurred in the Tycoon.
Let's see. I'm just going to try and find as many... Oh, this is at overwork levels. That's a problem. Let's see. We have too many people trying to run everything, so I'm going to turn off a couple. Really just these two. And that's all we need.
Is being overworked.
Barely. I guess I'll just turn one of these off. There we go. Optimal, optimal. I wish instead of overwork, I could also accept just slower work. Codes briefly reactivated the base's defense systems. Due to the facility state, they fortunately overloaded and are now offline. The team of the Ripley did not suffer any losses. Oh, that's good. Let's do Scientific Study Center first, because we desperately need science to make any progress here. Oh, every time a building gets damaged, we get hull integrity lost. That's rough. Are we done with everything? Oh, there's only one thing we could do in Mars. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
No more resources available to mine.
Okay. Well, I guess we can only get the science off of this one. Interesting. And a little unfortunate, but whatever. At least we'll get the people. I think I'm just going to keep looking around, I guess. Because yeah, we've got the probe. We can just send it places. Gosh, this music is good. And now we're getting that Mechanicus level of, like, kind of haunting pipe organ. I am going to have to buy the soundtrack for this game, I am sure. Actually, in retrospect, I've got too many of these alloy ones, so I'm actually going to set that one to carbon. We'll move things around later. Yeah, so it takes a while. I'm going to go back here. Even if it's not super... Oh my gosh, this is a chunker. So I think I'm going to preemptively build it out here. Why? Because it's utterly huge. And we're going to want to move like half of these facilities anyway. So what do we have? We've verified the data several times over, can confirm the existence of a vast debris field covering an area several thousand kilometers. The center of the field is a colossal artificial structure which, even in its ruined state, makes the Tycoon look like an insect. No signals have been detected, but we've identified 3 areas for investigation. Core of the structure, secondary structure that looks to be the remains of a destroyed loading dock, and a particularly dense area of debris field. The floating debris will make navigation difficult and interfere with communications. Interesting. Core of the structure, loading dock. Can we only do 1? I wish it would actually tell me these. I'm not seeing anything about quick saving. That's unfortunate. Would save me a little bit of time. New save. What's in the box? I just remembered what's in the box. I probably shouldn't do that. I am an immature child. Anyway, let's check the core of the structure. That sounds interesting. We got Venus to check out at some point too. Do we also have Mercury? Yeah. Cool. I'm just going to keep sending these probes out. I gotta find 500 people somewhere, and I'm betting this giant structure is probably it. But you never know. There might be more. Kind of a shame I can't, like, spend some time to really excavate that facility on Mars and get the rest of it, but oh well. I'm also a little disappointed that we don't actually have any of these people from the Cryonics Center being like, yeah, this is what happened. Alright, so what's up with this place? Few visuals reveal a huge damaged structure surrounded by arches that have detached from the central axis. These arches show extreme signs of deterioration. The structure is covered in traces of explosive residue. collision impacts, and scarring from unknown weaponry. After exploring a few areas of the structure that remain accessible, the team of the Ripleys spotted a number of salvageable resources near a ruined assembly area. Further analysis is possible but will take time. Okay. I might as well. Like, unless this place blows up on me, it seems to be the most promising place for me to both get research materials and also just people, which we kind of desperately need. We are repopulating actually pretty quickly here, so that's a good sign. We do have a lot of non-workers, though, which is a little concerning. I don't entirely know what that means, and I don't know if we'll be able to get them to be, you know, workers. How are we doing? Oh. Here's the other benefit. Let's turn this back on, because we're starting... I don't know about our food situation, but the more people we get here, the more food issues we're going to run into. So I should scale that up. And I would very much like to actually be able to get to T2 tech, but it's not letting me. Report to Dolos. But where? Find it with a probe. Well, that's fair. Gonna have to wait for a little bit. I'm currently kind of low on probes. Luckily, I'm at least kind of solving most of my other issues. Be talking about anything. How are we doing here? Population's going up, but we need 30 to get this sucker rolling, which is a little rough. I guess I could turn the infirmary on and off. That's not the worst idea. Oh, well, that solves our cryogenically frozen people problem. After examination, the Ripley's team concluded that this site was evacuated prior to its destruction. Finding uniforms and equipment bearing the insignia of different organizations, it appears this facility was property of the UN. Strangely, a number of embalmed bodies were found in a secluded area. The team was unable to determine the cause or the outcome of the conflict, but have managed to recover further resources. They've been packaged for extraction. Well, I guess I'm just going to keep going down the list. We'll leave the debris for last. It seems like it's going to take a while, and I don't know what it's specifically... I don't know how worthwhile it is. And who knows, maybe I'll set something off and then we'll actually, you know, lose access to the whole structure. Maybe. That'd be unfortunate. Yeah, I don't think I want to open up Sector 3 yet. This sector is barely functional. Oh, we're close. 5 more people. And I might actually need more infirmaries. Because, turns out random workplace accidents are shockingly common in this universe. Alright, let's take a look at the debris field. Frozen human remains constitute the majority of the debris that surround the loading dock. Evidence suggests that the area experienced depressurization after a structural breach. The dock itself has been looted and partially dismantled. Several cairns have been left behind. Arranged in helical shapes and erected using makeshift materials, the team did find a few resources and they have been prepared for extraction. I'm almost wondering if there's going to be a secondary human group that actually survived. It very clearly seems like there's this weird Helix cult that exists and is doing, I don't know what, or at least did something. Let's see, what we should probably also do, once we have enough people, is I'm actually going to move these iron stockpiles and move them closer. Because there's really no reason why they shouldn't just be right across from it, just to save a little bit on travel time. Is it even travel time? I guess not really. But I want my station to be densely packed. So the wrecks of shuttles float everywhere. Most belong to the UN, though there are some bearing the acronym BMS. Despite the many hazards and potential psychological impacts from the presence of human corpses, the Ripley's team was able to locate some salvageable resources. Let's go back to the Tycoon and probably turn on an amount of our storage, as I have resources aplenty that needs transporting. Okay, so what's going on at Venus? Probe data has revealed mining and industrial infrastructure below the surface of Venus. According to the reports from the exploration team, the subterranean site consists of mining infrastructure and a large assembly line. Many embalmed bodies were found in the area. The line seems to have been originally used to fabricate solar sails. With minor repairs, it could be restarted. I don't know how useful solar sails are, but getting, I mean, I'm going to assume that either unlocks new tech for us and gives us a permanent passive. I really like the idea of permanent passives. Almost need a second science ship, but I just do not have the setup for it. But I do have more oh, well, we found a thing. That's probably, what, Uranus or Neptune? It's one or the other. I'm just going to keep sending probes out whenever I have them. We're just going to stick around until we find the outer heaven and are ready to leave this sector. This video might end up being a little long, but I really like this game. I'm normally not big on, like, station managers or civilization builders just because I find them to be kind of repetitive in a really boring way. And while I'm spending a fair amount of time just how hauntingly beautiful the soundtrack is, we have a new point of interest. Looks like we seem to be getting plenty. That's still going to take a while. Probably taking too long. But we have another probe. I wonder if Outer Heaven's going to be... Oh, on Pluto? Could be. It doesn't look like any of these planets are moving, despite the fact that, you know, cycles are days. It would actually be kind of neat if they did move, but eh. There's got to be at least a fair chunk of... well, actually, no. How many more things are waiting in the debris field? Oh, yeah, go figure. That's a lot of resources to collect, including a lot of cryonic pods.
Ship team has completed a task.
Okay, so what do we got here? The assembly line has been repaired. The machines belong to the UN and are clearly more advanced than our systems. They're fully automated and our team has been able to use them to prepare a number of resources for extraction. During the repair process, an engineer discovered a number of inscriptions written by the Olexes. Regret over the fate of the station's residents. He used the line to repair elements of his ship so that he could reach the headquarters of the Black Market Society. Ooh. That's interesting. It seems like there's a fair bit to do around here, which I kind of appreciate. I just only have one science ship, which is kind of limiting me. I could get a second dock down, but we barely have people. Okay. So Ripley's done with that. I don't know, Saturn next? There might be something out here, so we'll kind of do this loop. But we still gotta find Outer Heaven somewhere. I'm betting it's probably in the outer asteroid belt, but who knows? It could be further out. I mean, there's always the possibility for some Planet X business. I remember as a kid doing a book report on one of those places and being like, oh, look, 10th planet, it's so cool. Okay, well, there's something there. Pluto? We haven't found Pluto. Find out when we get there. I don't know. I'm really enjoying this because there's a linear story, there's civilization management that I need to care about, there's beautiful music, and it doesn't play like anything else I've played. There's that one game, it's not Space Station 13, and I cannot remember the name of it. Outer Hope, found it. Outer Heaven, sorry. I am too much of a Metal Gear Solid fan. Oh, this is going to take a little bit of time, because we're probably going to take the long route over to Outer Hope. Oh, a structure belonging to the Black Market Society has been discovered on Titan, Saturn's largest moon. Although severely damaged, the site seems to be active. Surface scans indicate that BMS station extends deep below the surface of Titan. Further data is not available due to the site firing upon the Tycoon's probe as it approached. Make contact. We might actually have people. Probably not, but you never know. I think it would actually be interesting if there was, you know, a fragment of humanity still somewhat functional, if barely. So I had a bit of a minor mishap. Because I've been waking so many people up, we ran into some major issues with food. So I have 243 people living on this sector. Food meal of 24. That's not so bad. And I've got... These people are pissed. I got 101 of them. Most of them are not working. This is kind of slow for whatever reason. I'm not sure. I think a lot of my resources are being spent on repairs, which is a bit of an issue. But at the very least, I've got I've got this kind of going. We've got some resources coming in. We're going to need more alloy. And it looks like we are actually bringing some back in, which is good. But I almost ran out of food. So I'm definitely going to need some more stockpiles. That's for sure. I've moved my research out of here because every single person spare on this this sector is now more or less dedicated entirely to guaranteeing we have enough food and don't starve. I should probably turn this thing off for a while. Just because more people is not going to help me. Whereas these people, we desperately need some science here. Jeez, that is actually really huge. I just don't know what I do and where I put it. Wait, can I put it here? Yeah. Do I put it here? Yeah, actually, I think so. It's gonna take some resources, but we might as well start building the science thing over here. I've got plenty of power and I've got tons of people. What does the 101 mean? Oh, I see. That's just in this sector. But yeah, it's gonna take a little bit before we actually do anything. I guess the other option is we could turn off the alternative life sector. Just because we don't actually need the stability. My people are... like, these people are angry, but they'll feel better in a second. We just need to wait for the next meal cycle, which should be this one. Oh, right. That's why I started recording again. We're in Saturn, and I keep forgetting that. After receiving no response to communication attempts, the team landed the Ripley and advanced towards the complex, security protocols in place. The defenses activated briefly and fired on the team. Fortunately, there seems to have been little remaining power and quickly shut down. Entering the complex, the team were attacked by strange animals. Recorded footage from the mission shows an emaciated simian amalgam. The team repelled the attack with improvised weapons, and the creatures retreated. Unfortunately, no samples could be recovered. Venturing further into the complex, unsettling works of art and esoteric writing were discovered. Though the station is still pressurized, progress was made difficult due to a lack of any artificial gravity. In addition, a giant fungus is spread throughout the complex, releasing huge volumes of spores into the local atmosphere. Within what appears to be the main entrance hall, a bronze statue of Marduk Council member Giovanna Battista has been erected. Inconsistencies in the reports from different members of the exploration team suggest that recorded information may not be entirely accurate. Any conclusions drawn must be discounted. We could do deeper into the station. Venturing deeper within, the team of the Ripley reached a construction site deserted and almost entirely frozen. Several possible storage areas have been identified but are blocked by ice. The team could break through the ice or restart the station's heating systems in an attempt to thaw out the complex. One of the storage areas, through the transparency of the ice, a preserved corpse can be seen. Interesting. Break through, or close off the area, try to reactivate the heating system. Well, unfortunately, there's not too much to find at the Black Market Society, just a couple of electronics. The Ripley's team discovered a number of valuable resources. Via biometric data sampling, they identified the preserved corpse as that of Wheelixes, administrator of Neptune's Hyperlux station, Thyke. The body was found with a handwritten letter of farewell and apology to the inhabitants of the Thyke station, and appears to be unfinished. So not a whole lot of resources to really grab, but more science, which is nice, and it didn't blow up on us, which is kind of useful. There's lots of cryopods in storage. Living with the knowledge that loved ones could potentially be alive in cryonics is not having a positive impact on the crew. Then 24 cycles. Yeah. Turn something off. Well, at this point, I can actually turn the probe launcher off. We don't need it. Let's see, what else do we not really need? Probably this thing. Because this requires 15 people. That should give me just enough to turn this back on, and we can go back to thawing people. I am probably going to need some more food, is the one issue. I'm not quite... well, let's take a look at this. Because these people are mostly employed. These people, I'll probably just set that up. I don't think we need to worry too much about transport times. I think it'll be an issue as this place gets denser. But I think otherwise, I think we'll be okay. So what do we got on Neptune? So, our communication systems have detected faint signals transmitting from what appears to be an old luxury station on Triton. Transmission analysis pulled a few data fragments encoded with the signals. They mentioned public disorder, food supply problems, and frequent reference to the name Elixies. Feige Station has been almost entirely dismantled. The few areas left suggest that those who lived here were swimming in opulence. The place is huge. We found a sealed room protected by heavily armored blast doors. Dents in the door's metal suggest that others have unsuccessfully tried to gain entry. Idris Ahab recommends the use of explosives. Given the state of the station, I think it's a bad idea. Well, we've already got the biometric data, so we might as well grab that. Oh. Collapsible frames upgrade unlocked for stockpile small. The room security systems were designed to read biometric data. The doors were set to only open for elixirs. Inside the room were large quantities of resources necessary for the survival of the station's residents. Alright, well that's it for that, and we get access granted and a whole bunch of stuff. So we'll grab the science and then move on. That's kind of nice. I appreciate that there was an alternative ending to this by being clever, I guess. What else do we have? Just tons of just iron sitting around, which is kind of fine. We can keep processing it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It looks like In Limbo is going fine. And we're at 410 out of 500, and we still haven't even reached Outer Hope yet. Who knows what's going to be there? I'm probably going to have to make some more... I'm probably going to have to make some more storage facilities to actually handle that. Oof. Well, these finally blew up a little bit. And some people died. That blows. What do we actually... Oh! We have the electronics factory now. Unfortunately, can't do anything with it for the moment. Can I start upgrading things? I mean, yes, kind of. Do we just have the upgrade already?
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
No, it doesn't look like I can upgrade these yet. We've unlocked the tech, but we still need the tier 2 upgrade. So what do you have on Uranus? Oh. That's weird. Our instruments... Naomi Protocol cut down the tree. What is the Naomi Protocol? Our instruments have recorded an abnormal thermal activity on Uranus. At this distance, we're unable to deduce its nature or source. Controller, are you receiving us? We found a tree. It seems impossible in such an environment. I've never seen anything like it. It's breathtaking. The tree sheds its leaves quite rapidly, but they reform almost instantly. Crystallizing from the branches, the root structure appears to sink deep into the planet. Hope you're receiving our images, as it feels like a fever dream. I don't know what Naomi Protocol means, but I'm thinking we do the analysis first. It feels wrong to blow this thing up. Like, truly, actually wrong. I'm not the kind of person that would blow up a tree just because it's like, well, I might be able to do some science to it. And it's like, no. Ethics. I'm actually running out of iron. That's good to know. I might have to get some more. Oh. Cargo ship's capacity has gone up. What level are you now? Tier 2. It's autonomy. In 13 cycles, I don't know what that means. But it can hold 33 resources as opposed to just 30. After analyzing various samples, the tree appears almost entirely edible. Its roots, leaves, and fruit can be eaten. RNA sampling suggests that the tree is the result of extensive bioengineering experimentation. It's unknown how it germinated here or who's responsible for the feat. Let's just harvest elements from it. I am not going to blow up this tree. I am not that much of a jerk. Maybe there's a reason for it. I guess I could try save scumming for it. But even then, I just feel like it would be sad. Turn this on real quick. Get those chips out. How are we doing population-wise? How are we doing food-wise? Oh, we have 80. Okay, that's a really good sign. I guess if I really needed to, I could have actually just turned off the alternative life center. That would have been smarter. And how are you guys doing? Population is good, actually. So I think I'm going to go back here, food. These require 8. I'm going to build 2 more of these, and we're going to go back to this. Your max population is now 200. We are probably going to have to figure some things out. Let's see. Sector 1, 4 people are starving. don't think that should be an issue. I think that might be left over. And we need at least a little bit more population. Eventually I should get some more crew quarters space. And we might also want to pop open another sector. I think would be the other answer. But first I'm going to finish in Limbo, then cut it off for a while. Until they yell at me again. I don't have that many... let's see. Just not in a good place food-wise. So yeah, we'll make it so that they can interchange, and I'm going to try and guarantee at least some level of stability on both of these. Okay, did we harvest the fruit? No, we're almost there. Oh, because I'm running at regular speed. This is going to be a long video, but I am enjoying it. Oh, we get some food. Do we do the Naomi Protocol? What the hell is the Naomi Protocol? Alright, I'm gonna save just to see what it is. I think I'm going to blow it up. What untold horrors have I committed to this tree? When the tree fell, a plaque was revealed that had been buried beneath its roots. The tree was a collaboration between Henry Bargeville and Rabia Nikon. When they joined the Ash Tangites, they offered their creation to humanity, hoping it would erase some of the debt created by the atrocities of Dolos. Ripley's team felled the tree and have prepared the resulting resources for extraction, but it's just some science and carbon. I think it's fine. I'm gonna go back. I just feel guilty about blowing the tree up, and who knows, maybe there's some weird negative for doing so later on. Or not. Doesn't really matter. I just... You know, we'll use time powers to see what happens when you blow up the tree. But that's it. I'm leaving that tree up. I'm a tree hugger. Judge me all you want. Let's go to Outer Heaven. It's about time. Outer Hope. My bad. Oh wait, no. We just got to get the science off of this first. Because yeah, I could have gotten 15 more science, but I think I'll live. So what's at Outer Hope? A dull pigeon debris from a past battle. Broken equipment and frozen bodies float around the station. The emergency signal is transmitting from inside. Search the battlefield and then search it. So what happened at Outer Hope? The battle seems to have been made of multiple engagements, with debris from the conflicts mostly consisting of wrecked shuttles. Some of these destroyed ships bear the insignia of the UN, though the majority carried Dolos emblems. Sophisticated weapon systems are also identified among the wreckage, bearing the acronym BMS. The Ripley's team was able to salvage some resources from the debris. Search the Outer Hope. Oh boy. But at least we're getting a lot of science. And we're also having some population issues. Yeah. Oh right, I was going to turn you off. Outer Hope lies in ruins. Many embalmed bodies were found in the remains of the station. Dolos crew protocols do not direct for this type of preservation. Ripley's team traced the emergency broadcast after clearing away several tons of debris. Uncovered the station's mainframe, they were able to access and extract Outer Hope's black box. The data can be analyzed using the tech lab. New tech... Okay, and we can then dismantle it. Hopefully it will get me some science, cause we gotta get that black box done. Now. Before I run out of science. I have some other things, like, I was starting to work on accelerated growth, but, black box is a little bit more important. What else can we do? Advanced logistics. Oi. What else? Oh, workshops now automatically repair buildings. That's actually really good. Yeah, now we've got the good tier 2 tech. Tycoon moves faster. Cargo ship moves faster. Under dangerous weather conditions. That's an interesting thing. Self-welding. Same deal. Science ship has a whole bunch. Ooh, unique interactions. We might want to snag a bunch of these. Including gas giant exploration. Resources are available. No science though, which is rough. Read the reports from the black box. Okay, here we go. Full jump. Records tell of how Earth was ravaged by the Lunaclism. In the ensuing chaos, states radicalized and the UN declared Dolos an enemy of humanity. The black box's data also describes a Dolos facility hidden in the atmosphere of Jupiter. Officially designated Hephaestus, the site was used to develop a new type of Vol engine. It also accommodated the construction of a Taurus-class superstructure known to Dolos as the Protagoras. This iteration on the Tycoon was sent on a mission to seek out the habitable exoplanet Remus. The last survivors of humanity could establish a new home. Despite the damage done to Outer Hope, the station was still able to later receive a distress signal from the Protagoras, not Protagoras, with the Volt jump coordinates encoded, indicating the ship's last presumed location. I was hoping to get some more science off of that, but it looks like we might actually be out of luck. Well, whatever. Let's go check out what Jupiter has. Maybe we can get a bit more science from that. Because, boy, being able to go into gas giants would actually be kind of nice. I don't know if it would let me go, like, check out Saturn or something, but who knows? It might. Oh, you know, the other thing is, I have just enough alloy. We should get another stockpile for cryo. I'm just going to turn this one off. See, I can just fill these out. We might want to snag as much resources as we can before we leave. Just using a bunch of these. Oh, what do we have? Clean Munchi algorithms have identified that staying too long in one system exacerbates dead Earth sickness. Collective trauma will not begin to heal till the crew can set foot on their new home. Cannot stay in a system that holds no hope for humanity. Well, that's a problem. Because, yeah, they're currently... Let's see, they're currently okay. I guess we have enough resources, stability-wise. We could actually build a memorial. Because the memorials technically cost nothing. Put it here. Okay. And then I'm going to get rid of all these extra roads. We're going to have this slight desync. I don't think I have a choice in the matter if I want to fit everything in. But getting a memorial doesn't seem like the worst idea. I don't like the fact that it's permanent. Hopefully that goes away at some point. It probably will if we leave the area. Okay. And I have no science, so I might as well turn this off and turn the foundries back on. Not that I have a whole lot of iron left. Actually. We should probably scan for some more. Jupiter Hephaestus. The coordinates received from the black box of Outer Hope allowed us to successfully locate the Hephaestus construction facility on Jupiter. Using the encrypted channels and Dolos communication protocols found on Outer Hope to access the Hephaestus site, it seems to have woken the resident PA diagnostics, Diagnostics reveal that prior to the failure of the site's data archiving systems, the facility had been inactive for several decades. Strangely, the industrial zone is currently powered and operational. Investigate. Who wants to bet that they just built a spare one in case we ever came back? Automatically. Maybe. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we have too many resources left. Outer Hope only has some alloy and nothing more. And then we have all that carbon and potentially this stuff. Which I might honestly get closer to. Yeah, I should probably snag some amount of this iron. I don't know how... I don't know how many opportunities I'm going to be able to get more resources. And it'd be pretty unfortunate... Turn this one off. It'd be pretty unfortunate if we go too early and lose stuff. Though people get depressed. So maybe I shouldn't hang out too long either. Oh, gosh. Okay. We've reached the automated construction site, which despite its age is still in good working condition. Although the Dolos technology here is recognizable, it's much more advanced than what we have aboard the Tycoon. In the control room of the site, we came across a mausoleum dedicated to Liera Fraus. The resident PA identified us as Dolos personnel and granted us data records. They confirmed that the Hephaestus site was used to construct and house an advanced prototype of the Vol engine, codenamed Ixion. An engine of this type is currently moored to an EKP structure with a harness link. Our engineers say that our mining ships could tow this. Attaching the Ixion engines to the Tycoon will restore our Vol jump capabilities, and we also have a ton of people. And time to extract it. Yeah, I'll just send this Vihander at it. This is going to take a little while. Hopefully that stability penalty goes away when we leave this sector, because it's going to be kind of unfortunate if it doesn't.
Probe has completed its scan.
I guess the other thing is we could just move the ship closer. Oh, question. Batteries are not that expensive. I could potentially get some batteries up in here. They're a little expensive alloy-wise. But at least one battery doesn't seem like a terrible idea. How are we doing food-wise? I think we're doing fine. The other one is, oh yeah, we need cryo storage bad. Hopefully you actually get us what we need. Kind of. We might have some issues. Well, we've collected 500 cryopods, so that's good. See, is there anything else?
Has occurred in the Tycoon.
Retrieving things, and then we have resources. No, I think we're good. So I guess apart from snagging the Ixion, which is going to be the next bit, otherwise I think it's just grab everything.
Team has completed a task.
And then go. Hey, and we've got some science. Extraction procedure was a success. Hephaestus's PA... Wow, this is beautiful. PA helped us a lot during the operation. She may try to contact Tycoon directly. May we follow the self-similar pattern. Tycoon needs to be in orbit of Jupiter for the Ixion connection. So the extraction procedure was a success. I really like this illustration. Though pulling it out of Jupiter seems a little unrealistic. Maybe? I don't know how bad gravity is that far out. Hephaestus's PA helped a lot, may contact us. Okay, so we just gotta get... Port sector operation for a third of a cycle. Oof. I don't think we need to worry about it yet at the moment, but maybe eventually. Okay, we have no iron, so I'm going to just turn this off. It's not a benefit to us. So next up is accelerated growth. So I can get one more tech before we're out of resources and can't do anything else. What would I do? I'm thinking if we take a look at this. Gas planet exploration. Maybe?
An accident has occurred in the Tycoon.
Or, more importantly...
The crew's trust in your leadership is falling.
Why are you neutral? Oh, storing more than 250 unopened cryopods. Yeah, okay. Oh. That's why it's negative. Yeah, the only problem is we don't have enough alloy at the moment. I have 0. We need that alloy bad. I'm gonna set the iron to high priority because if we don't get alloy, I can't make anything. I can start letting people loose as soon as we've got it. But yeah, oh gosh, our hull integrity is bad. Everything is bad.
Caution. Hull integrity below 50%.
Well, this is going poorly.
Administrator, a new request awaits your attention.
Okay, that is fix it within 30 cycles. Yep, that'll be easy. I hope. How's our food situation? Because I could potentially... Let's dismantle both of these. That'll fix some of our problems really quickly. Okay, so if I look back at this, we have a lot of workers. Not quite enough. But we have a decent amount. At least we can fix the hull integrity, which is good because, oh gosh, everything is kind of rough there. Ah, 3 cycles to go to Mars. That could go poorly. I don't know what this is gonna do. Yeah, the problem is we got too big for our own britches. Big. And so moving around could actually just be like a seriously terrible idea. And screw me over in horribly untoward or unknown ways. I guess we'll find out. Well, either way, I think we've more or less figured out what happened to Earth. The moon is scuffed. Everything is bad. But, I mean, what else are we gonna do? Grab resources and get out before everything goes terrible. Oh, of course, this is destroying our hull integrity. We'll probably just have to stop in Mercury, but at least it's a little closer. Okay. Otherwise, I'd start ripping out other things, who knows. But at least we can maybe fix back up. What would I even dismantle? I don't know. I guess I could get rid of the tech lab. I'm going to turn it off. We don't need the science at the moment, whereas we desperately need the iron. Let's see, what else do we have? Too many people. I may have explored too much. How many more of these do we even have? 2 people. Son of a... Oh boy. Everything's going poorly. Okay. I'm gonna set the iron to high priority. If we can snag that, we're good. Okay. So, assuming I can pull myself out of this absolutely horrendous ditch, we are just losing... durability fast, and there's so precious little I can do about it. Look, more people in cryo. That's not helpful in the slightest. Ship just blows up. I mean, we could. I think we'll be fine. I just, really wasn't paying attention to how badly I need alloy just to live. Because we should grab this shipment. It doesn't seem like there's really anything left. We'll definitely need to build some batteries before I do anything else. Like, enough that I could go away for 3 days. My people are going to be so freaking pissed. Well, at least my trust isn't super bad yet. But it's getting worse.
Has occurred in the Tycoon.
And every single one of those accidents is not great. Why are you grabbing ice?
Warning. Hull integrity below 10%.
Why did it grab ice? Of all things. Well, I guess we blow up because, this dinglehop decided, but what if we don't need it? I guess here, last ditch. I'm just gonna dismantle some buildings. We'll get it back. We're not gonna need probes for a bit. And once we get the iron, it shouldn't be so bad. This went so poor. Why did it go to grab ice? It's like the absolutely least useful thing. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna stop here. Let's go out to the main menu. I'll have to go back maybe a couple of saves if I continue playing myself. I guess, like, I might want to just go back to this one. Yeah, let's just go back to that one before everything went to shit. And I'll just prioritize actually collecting some of that iron so we don't run out. Because, yeah, it turns out, alloy-wise, you are actually just bleeding constantly. It's not just the small accidents, it's just, no, you need to be just constantly refreshing your entire station with alloy to not die. Which is neat, but also rough, and is kind of a lasting time limit. Which is fine. The other thing to note is we are... What? There's an exit in Sector 2. How bad is this? I don't know, it doesn't matter. So, with all of this said, I think we're in a good stopping point. This is before we even got the black box. Well, here's the biggest question. Can I go to the tech lab and get assistant promotion? Because that's almost more useful in the moment than anything else. And, oh, this is before I even got any of this. So yeah, let's go find that iron.
Administrator, a new request awaits your attention.
Okay. Perfect. So now we know where we are. This video has probably gone on way longer than I normally go, but at the same time, I had a lot of fun with this. Ixion is stressful, clearly. Like, boy, it's got worse than I thought it way worse than I thought it was going to. But I think with some of my changes, we'll have a better idea. Okay, so that's just telling me I know how to do that. We'll need to reactivate this. We probably don't need as much food. So in that respect, we might actually want to just turn these off for a while. Just snag that and pause it where it is. Because now we should have enough people, no problem, to get this foundry going. Have plenty of alloy, and maybe we won't get wrecked.
A probe has completed its
And this way we're getting 3 science every 5 cycles. It's still not great, but that science is so incredibly useful. Okay, go back to this, and we're gonna focus on that, because ice is not a high priority. If I go to fleet management, let's move iron back up. Ice can be the lowest of the low. At least until it screws me over. I have no idea. So, Ixion is available today on Steam. Once again, I do not know the price tag, but I think it's absolutely incredible. I'm going to assume it's probably a $30 thing. Might even be $40. It's certainly AA scale production, and I really dig it. And I'm looking forward to playing more. It'll be on my own, just so I don't have to natter over the whole thing. And so I can kind of just kick back, relax, listen to music, and maybe even, I don't know, watch YouTube videos while I do. But this is by and far one of my favorite colony management games that I likely will ever play. And I am super looking forward to playing even more of this when I get around to it. But for now, at least, I guess if you guys like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like, helps more than you know. And if you want to see more rad new indie games every single day, then hit subscribe, as I have absolutely tons to show off. But with that, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.